sign, yep.
Yeah, see, that was, you are now crossing the 30th parallel.
And that's the latitude line.
Right here, right.
Dad, did you wanna tell them, what branch of the service you were in?
Oh, well, I was in,
Did you think they can guess?
I thought, yes, I was in the Navy, you can tell.
And what were you called, Dad? Being in the Navy, you would be
What, a sailor?
the sailor.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
My mom was in the Navy.
You what?
My mom was in the Navy.
Oh, yeah? Where was she at? Do you know? You don't know,
She's
huh?
on a big ship traveling the ocean.
Oh, yeah? How long was she in? Well, you don't know that. Yes?
Well, my dad was in the Navy. He was also called a sailor. He traveled to Brazil to protect Brazil on the coast.
Yeah.
We got to stay in Brazil too. It was a very beautiful place.
Yeah.
Okay, Kyle, okay, two more questions and then back to Kyle.
Go ahead.
My grandpa was in the Caribbean.
Oh, yeah? Your grandpa was?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah? Was he in the Army or?
I think he was like a mechanic.
Yeah. Ah, and you?
How long were you in the Navy?
4 years.
That's what I was asking. Go ahead, Kyle. You can
4
ask it
years, yes.
anyways.
Well, that was. What year did you join the war?
What year did I go in? 1950.
That's the same.
October 1950.
Dad, would you like to explain the ship that you were on, what you did? Can I
Yeah.
have these pictures then? You can hold up. This you'll like too, Kyle.
What is it then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, here's a picture of him on his ship as a sailor. And you can look at these again later when we're done. But
Yeah.
he will explain what his ship did.
Well, as a minesweeper, mines are put in the water to explode when ships hit them. And they're anchored to the floor of the ocean and come up so high so that the ballast of the ship, what you call the ballast, is from the deck to the bottom of the ship. And if that, say, would be 15 or 20 feet, that's where they put these mines. And so when the ship comes along and hits these mines, they explode and it blows the ship up. And the minesweeper comes through there and they cut these mines so they come up to the top of the water and float, and then they sink them instead of the harbors where ships come in for supplies. In other words, they bring supplies into the Army and so forth on land. They've got to have a clear channel to get into the docks so that they can unload their supplies. And the minesweepers are the ones that keep the mines cut and so forth and sink them before these ships can come into the harbor. And every so often, they got different types of mines. They're fastened to the ground. There's magnetic mines that lay down below, and the ship is made of metal, and the ship, these magnetic mines come up and hit the ship and it'll blow it up. And you also got floating mines, where they let them float out of a river or a channel into the harbor ways and so forth, and they float on top of the water. And then you gotta watch out for them too. There's 3 different kinds. And this here, this is a picture, I'll pass it around. This is a picture of an exploding mine.
Yeah, just show it now, and they
Oh,
can look at
okay.
it afterwards.
Oh, yeah, all right.
Okay.
And this was a picture, you see, can't maybe see there well. This is smoke. There was a minesweeper near the shore sweeping, and they were being shot at with shore batteries. And we laid a smoke screen between them and the shore so that they couldn't shoot at them or see them to shoot at.
You got another question?
How did you get into the military?
How do what?
How did you get into the military?
How did you get into the military?
Oh, I signed up.
Boot camp.
I went to boot camp at Great Lakes. I was at Great Lakes, at that time it was 3 months boot camp, and then I went to machinist mate school for 6 months. And then I went aboard ship. And I spent the rest of my time aboard that ship until about the last 2 months before I got discharged, 4 years. I was on the ship for a little over about 3 years and 3 months. That was my home, sailing around.
For 3 years and 3 months, you said?
Yeah,
So boys and girls, you've been in first grade, second grade, we're almost done with third grade. So all of first grade, all of second grade, all of third grade. That's how long you'd have to be on a ship doing your job, that's a long time.
well,
What?
you'd be on longer as far as that is concerned, but it was the end of the war then. And they put it in mothballs, so then I was transferred to Seattle, Washington. And I spent the rest of my, 3 months, I think, and then I got discharged.
What does that mean to be discharged? Does anybody know what that means? What do you think? Are you listening to Mr. Schuld? What do you think discharged would mean? Anne Marie? Kind of. Jacob, did you want to add on to that?
Like when a boat is like sent out or like it goes into a harbor or leaves a harbor.
Say it really loud so we can hear.
Like when a boat like goes into a harbor or leaves a harbor.
No, discharge is when you get released from the service.
So they say you're you're done working for us,
Yeah.
but are you thinking decommissioned, Jacob? Like a boat can be decommissioned and the boat's done? Yep.
Yeah.
So, Kyle, do you have another question? Oh, he wanted to know if a ship hit one of those mines,
Yeah.
about how many sailors would have been on a ship and how much damage would it do to a ship?
Well, it depends upon what ship it was, but I mean, you got, in other words, like on the ship that I was on, the minesweeper, there was about 300 guys. Now, if you get into the aircraft carriers or bigger ships, you got, like an aircraft carrier, you got over, say, a couple thousand men on it. Now, if you hit one mine, like the size ship we were on, you're gone. It'll sink. Now, if you have an aircraft carrier, which is a big, ship, it would maybe damage it and it would make it back to port. But if it hit more than one, well, then it's another story, They do quite a bit of damage.
Do you have another question, Kyle? Still writing, I know your mom is videotaping it. so you
Well,
can-
I still remember that my dad was in the war.
What kind of war?
Well, he actually won the war, but the war was back at Texas, but I don't know if he won or not.
Or army with Afghanistan, maybe?
Yeah.
He was the army man.
Mhm. Okay, Kyle, go ahead.
Did you serve in any other wars?
No, there was no other war. I had my oldest brother was in World War II, and my other brother was in the Korean War. There was 3 of us in our family that was in the war. 2 sailors and 1 Coast Guard. My oldest brother was in the Coast Guard during World War II. But it's practically the same as the Navy. During peacetime, the Coast Guard is the one that guards the coast of the United States. You'll have Coast Guard like in Milwaukee here down on the shorelines and that of the Great Lakes. They protect the shores. Navy is more on the part of the whole world,
kind of back up the
But,
Coast Guard
yeah,
a
but
little bit.
when a war breaks out, the Navy takes over the Coast Guard, and they all, Coast Guard usually run supply ships and troop transports. That's what they usually do.
Boys and girls, what do you think a troop transport would be? When I'm listening to what he's saying, I'm thinking what it might run. What do you think a troop transport would be? Travis?
I have two other things, but
Really loud so we can hear.
I have three other things. I have two other things, but it might like carry like men to a different it might carry men to a different place. And about the mines, like even if you just like touched it, like this like a tiny tap, would it explode?
No.
So it would like need to be more.
It's got to be hit pretty good. It's a round, it's a round ball, and it has prongs on it.
Can you see it?
And what explodes it is when you hit the prong.
Can you see it?
And my my grandpa, I'm pretty sure he also served in the Korean War.
Yeah, was he in World War?
I think so.
He could have been in Korean War too.
But he's 84 years old.
Yeah. Yeah, he could have been there, because I'm 83.
Oh.
1 year younger.
My dad was 101.
Okay.
My grandma's 101.
Wow, great, that's great.
Okay. One more.
I got a ways to go yet.
My grandma's
Yeah.
Why did you join war? Did you have a choice or did you have to?